The Velthary Imperial fleet dropped out of hyperspace at 0300 hours, Greenwich Mean Time, on a Tuesday. It was, by any cosmic measure, the most terrifying thing the universe had ever produced. 400 warships. Dreadnoughts the size of small moons. Pulse cannons capable of cracking planetary crusts. The Velthary had conquered 63 civilizations across 9 star systems, and each conquest had followed the same elegant script. Appear without warning, broadcast the surrender demand, and watch the primitive species collapse under the psychological weight of their own insignificance. Grand Admiral Voreth stood on the bridge of the flagship Eternal Dominion, his 6 fingers clasped behind his scaled back, and gazed at the blue-green marble rotating peacefully below. Broadcast the demand, he ordered. The transmission went out across every frequency humanity had ever used: radio, digital, quantum band. Every screen on Earth flickered. Every phone buzzed. Every radio crackled with the same cold, translated voice. People of Earth. Resistance is cosmically futile. You have one rotation of your planet to surrender unconditionally. Failure to comply will result in the total annihilation of your primary population centers. The Velthary Empire is merciful. Comply, and you will serve. Resist, and you will cease. Voreth leaned back in his command throne and waited for the panic to begin. 17 minutes later, a transmission came back. Not a plea. Not a negotiation. Not even fear. Just a voice, calm, flat, almost bored, belonging to General Marcus Cole, commander of Earth's Unified Defense Command, speaking from a reinforced bunker somewhere beneath the Colorado Rockies. This is General Cole. We received your message. Here's ours: you have 30 minutes to leave our solar system before we start shooting. Clock's running. Voreth blinked his 3 eyelids. His communications officer, SIV, turned slowly from her console. Grand Admiral, they appear to be threatening us. They have atmospheric aircraft and primitive nuclear devices, Voreth said, a sound approximating laughter rolling through the bridge. Let the 30 minutes pass. Then they will understand. What Voreth did not know, what no species outside Earth's moon had any reason to know, was what humanity had been doing for the past 60 years in secret. Humanity, as a species, had always assumed it was not alone. And humanity, as a species, had always assumed that whatever was out there was probably not friendly. So they prepared. Project Ironveil began in 1971. Governments that publicly argued about everything else quietly agreed on one thing: if something came from the stars, it would not find a defenseless planet. Generations of scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked in orbital stations, lunar bases, and deep asteroid facilities. Building, quietly and relentlessly, a war machine that bore no resemblance to anything the world's general population watched in their science fiction films. Mass driver railguns, magnetically accelerated, positioned in lunar orbit. Kinetic kill platforms disguised as dead satellites. Antimatter warheads, small, precise, devastating, developed in secret Martian research stations. And most critically, a network of over 200 automated defense platforms called the Shepherd Array, sitting dark and cold and silent in geosynchronous orbit, waiting. They had been waiting for 63 years. The 30 minutes expired at 0347 hours. General Cole did not give a speech. He typed a single command into his console. Shepherd Array, authorization Cole 70, weapons free. The platforms lit up simultaneously. 400 targeting solutions resolved in 0.003 seconds, one for every ship in the Imperial fleet. The mass drivers on the lunar surface fired their first salvo before a single Velthary sensor operator could register what was happening. Tungsten rods, accelerated to a fraction of light speed, crossed the distance between the moon and the fleet in less than 2 seconds. The Velthary flagship Eternal Dominion ceased to exist on a molecular level before Grand Admiral Voreth could lift himself from his command throne. The antimatter warheads followed. Then the Shepard platforms rotated and fired their secondary batteries into the debris fields, eliminating any escape velocity vectors. The entire engagement lasted 4 minutes and 11 seconds. When it was over, Earth's radar screens showed nothing but a glittering ring of debris slowly spreading across the orbital plane of Mars, the only monument the Velthari Empire would ever have. General Cole sat quietly in his bunker for a long moment. Then he authorized a second transmission, broadcast on every frequency the Velthari fleet had used, aimed outward, deep into the galaxy. This is Earth. The fleet you sent is gone. If you sent it, send another, and we will do this again. If you are watching, understand one thing about humanity: we have been afraid of the dark since we first crawled out of our caves. We never let that stop us from building a fire. Come, if you want. But know what you are coming to. The transmission traveled outward at the speed of light, past Neptune, past the heliopause, out into the vast and silent dark. In 6 star systems, on 9 different worlds, species who had been quietly watching their long-range sensors for decades received the signal. None of them moved toward Earth. All of them began looking over their own shoulders.